let's get started. Let's jump right in. So I always say this, Steve, there is this guy who is across the pond. He's going to be king someday. His name is Prince William. What are we going to be? So welcome to the other Prince William podcast. This year, we will bring you stories and voices of the trailblazers shaping our community. This season specifically, we're diving deep into the lives of changemakers, which you are one. Those individuals who see potential where others see obstacles. Get ready to meet the people who are turning ideas into impact in Prince William and beyond.
Today, we are thrilled to have our guest, Steve Liga, who is working to build a better Prince William. And that's what we're all about. One home at a time, right, Steve?
That's right.
A better Prince William. Steve Liga is the CEO of Habitat for Humanity in Prince William County. Steve has an extensive background in nonprofit leadership, and he is deeply committed to equitable access to housing and community development. And I know this personally because you were the founding board member of the organization I work for, the Human Services Alliance of Greater Prince William. So you've been in this thing a long time, and you've touched a lot of organizations. We are thrilled to have you. Welcome, Steve.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here.
Steve's got amazing talent. And I've actually gone through a couple of different trainings with Steve around his board development training. He's got it's buttoned up, man. If you have a board of directors on a nonprofit, you need to bring Steve in to shape yourself up, because there's all kinds of things you're not doing that you should be doing. But before we dive into kind of your work at Habitat for Humanity today, can you take us back a couple of decades, maybe, to Villanova University, where you and your wife founded the very first University Habitat for Humanity chapter, which became the largest college-based Habitat for Humanity chapter in the world?
It wasn't the first college-based chapter. It was the first one at Villanova.
Oh, yeah.
But it did become the largest college-based chapter in the world. I don't know if it still holds that title or not, but for quite a while, it sure did. But yeah, that would be 1989, 90. There was a committee we had on campus at Villanova. It was the Villanova Committee for the Philadelphia Homeless. And Diane, my wife, was the president, and I was the vice president. And we would go into Philadelphia and rehab homeless shelters, food pantries, do rehab of buildings that churches had purchased that they were going to have new families move in. So we would take college students in and we would rehab the programs. And it more and more became like a habitat. So the university approached us and said, why don't we have a Habitat chapter? And that's what we did. And we founded it, and it's been going strong now for 35 years. Yeah, long time. Long time.
It's so beautiful. In 1989, I was a senior in Morgantown, West Virginia. I was really worried about where my next Miller Lite was coming from. I did not even think once about, well, it's not really true, but I gotta say that's really impressive for a college student to dig deep and understand kind of who they are and give back at such a young age. You've been doing it ever since 1989. That's like almost 40 years ago.
We know locally Habitat is a truly boots on the ground organization. Like, you all are doing the work, getting dirty. Is there a specific project that really stands out as like, oh, I loved doing that, or I loved that we could help that person?
That would be the family that we helped move into their new home in May. So this is a family who had been working with Habitat for almost 2 years. It's a long process. This was particularly long. Usually not quite that long, but it can be a year process for somebody once they first enroll in the program to actually getting a house.
Hi, I'm Lovey Hamill. I'm CEO of Employment Enterprises, and we're so proud to sponsor the other Prince William County podcast in order for us to celebrate our 45th anniversary. You can find us at www.eeihr.com. Call us when you want to take the stress out of hiring.
She was already involved in this process. Habitat had been without an executive director for several months. I came in, Habitat was on the verge of closing. I mean, it was like 2 months away from not meeting payroll. It was dying. And she was worried, well, what's going to happen about me and my house? We were able to turn things around. Our volunteers are phenomenal, and they were not going to let this house go. So I was there shoring up the financials and the organization, and I was out after work doing carpentry work and painting and out there on the weekends with the crews. And we finished her house about a week before she moved in.
Wow.
And that was just a phenomenal thing. Just seeing her and her 2 teenage kids move in and the life-changing event that is. She had been divorced for a decade, raising these teenage kids. And her daughter, right when we found out she was going to get that the house was coming together and she was going to make the mortgage and everything, her daughter got a full scholarship to Virginia Tech.
Oh my gosh.
So her daughter's going off to college on a scholarship. She's been working 40, 50, 60 hours a week as a home health aide, saving up her money for a down payment, working with us. And she moved in on the 19th of May. And the best day was the week after. We normally have a dedication celebration. Instead of having it catered, she said, I'm going to cook. So she cooked for the contractors who had helped out, the volunteers who were there, her family was there, Habitat staff. It was
See, and that what people I think don't realize about the work you do and those of us who work in housing and stability, like building that stability, it changes generations, right? Like if you remember as a little kid, like going to grandma's house, going to granddad's house, right? Like how that anchors a family. And so there's a place where you belong. And when you come home from college, you have a place to be, because dorms close, even on a full ride, dorms close, right? And you have to have some place to be. And so it's so special. I love that story. I love how you all are able to set this family up for generations to have that anchoring space.
same time this is happening. I'm going through the roles of the people who we already have mortgages with. And I notice that there's one house that's got less than $1,000 left on the mortgage. So I have to call this person and say, hey, we're throwing a party for you. So I call, and she just paid off her mortgage this month. And just talking to her about how it changed her family's trajectory, whole life, just, she's in such a different place. Her kids are in a different place. And that family going forward is going to be in such a different place because they had a home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Everything hinges on housing, right?
Yeah.
Your health
Oh, yeah.
is impacted, education, everything literally hinges on housing.
Yeah.
That's so special. Thanks,
Yeah.
Steve.
Kind of another way to talk about this, but in a different way, is talking about your why. And so a lot of our guests this season talk about their why and why they do the work they do. They do God's work. They do, it's really selfless a lot of times. And can you talk to us about your why? Why is it? Why do you do it?
It's very clear. When I was in 5th grade, my father lost his job. I'm the oldest of 5 kids, and suddenly we had no income. He was then underemployed for the next several years. Gas stations, little general stores, whatever he could do, usually working 2 jobs at the same time to make ends meet so that we could keep our home. And we did. But the reason we did is because we had help. People from the community. We would come home and there would be a cashier's check in an envelope in the mailbox, just anonymous. I'd come home and there'd be bags of groceries on our back porch. People just helped us. And we made it because of that. And that's what I knew. That's what I was going to do. I was going to be a helper.
OmniRide is your transportation provider for right here from Prince William County and beyond. We have lots of local routes in eastern Prince William, Manassas area, all of which are zero fare. We also have routes that can take you to the metro station zero fare for access into DC and points beyond. Just as important, we have our services on the I-66 and I-95 corridors if you need to reach the Pentagon, Crystal City, and of course our nation's capital. OmniRide is a proud sponsor of the other Prince William podcast.
And that's what I've done ever since 5th grade, helping my mom with the church food pantry, and then going through and doing volunteer work and working in soup kitchens in DC and high school, and then going to college and forming Habitat and among other organizations at the time. It's what I do.
Love it. Oh, not you, Steve. Don't do it.
No.
Steve, stop.
No, people help my family make it.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And
So last night I read a story. I need to learn more, but I'm just going to share what I know right now. And that was in, I think, the 1870s. The Irish people were going through the Great Famine. The Choctaw Indian tribe, Native Americans here in America, sent a check for $150, which today would be worth $5,000. It was a lot of money, to the people of Ireland to help feed them. Fast forward 120 years, and the Native American people were impacted greater than average, particularly the Choctaw tribe and the Navajo tribes, with COVID-19. The Irish people remembered this from 120 years ago and put together a GoFundMe page and raised $15 million to $15 million, and they submitted it to get those two tribes in particular, to lift them up out of this. And I just feel like if we help each other when we need it, there will be this magical intervention that happens somewhere. I mean, I pray it does, but it did for you and your family, and now it's time to give it back.
We all have our stories of, support and the community showing up when you need it. So I think that's, I know.
Stop.
I
You're such a beautiful person.
All right, we're gonna make it lighter. Let's lift the energy here. All right, Steve, Bob and I are proud members of the LPW class of 24. We do more. And we know that you're also an LPW alum, Leadership Prince William, 17. So
lead by example.
all right, you do that.
I love that.
That's appropriate.
Mhm.
That's appropriate.
Yep.
So talk to us about your experience at LPW and how those relationships have helped you do the work you do across our county.
Oh, yeah. It was about the relationships. The program itself was very good. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Learned a lot. I met great people.
Yeah, those 30 people are your best friends for life.
There are people that helped me when I was at ACTS, helped me now at Habitat. I've got people that I know that I can call. They will pick up the phone and I need this for a family. You got it. I need this for another nonprofit I'm working with. No problem. Hey, what are you doing with such and such? I can help you with that. Do you know anybody? Sure I do. I was new to this community. I came here, oh my gosh, it's been over 10 years. I was thinking I was new. No, it's 10 years. But when I came here, I didn't know anybody. I'd been here for a year at ACTS before I joined LPW. And by being part of LPW, that was one of the ways I was able to help that organization grow and become what it is now, because of the connections I made and how I was able to get involved with different people. They helped. And now it's still happening, even in Habitat.
We had very similar stories. We were both relatively new to the community too. And I tell people the relationships I made through LPW, it would have taken me 10 years to make those relationships, if not more.
No, you wouldn't have made them.
I wouldn't have made them.
No.
Yeah. It's incredible so now we have reach in Manassas Park and Manassas City and all throughout the county. And to your point, to be able to call someone and say, hey, I've got an issue, can you help me? It's priceless.
It's great.
Yeah.
And I love it when they call me.
Absolutely. We pay it forward.
Pay it forward.
We just had a lunch like last month. A bunch of us got together at one of the members' houses, and we just had a really nice barbecue at his house, and some alumni got together and just informal, brought families over. It was just fun.
What does the future look like for you and for Habitat? And where do you see kind of the long term, the big play, not only for you, but also for Habitat?
Longer play for me. I thought I was pretty much done being a CEO when I left Axe and then went to the Potomac Health Foundation. I'm like, okay, I'm done asking for money. I'm going to be the one helping to give some money.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me. Fabulous organization. They do great work and they help our community tremendously. I was kind of bored. So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna do my consulting business, because I've had a consulting business for like 15 years, helping other nonprofits. And I jumped into that. And that was fun. Still is fun. I'm still doing it. I've got several big clients that I'm working with. But my wife said, a steady paycheck. I kind of miss the steadiness part. Like, okay. I started consulting with Habitat. They brought me in to do some consulting, and I said, you guys need more than consulting. Tell you what, I'd be willing to be your interim CEO for 3-6 months, help you get back on your feet. After 8 months, I said, you know what, guys, if you'll have me, I'll just stay.
Yeah.
So I'm there. They pay me for 25 hours, and I do my consulting work on Mondays. And
It's beautiful.
yeah, it works out really well.
And I love the beginning of the story that Martina asked you about, which is kind of, this was going back to your beginning.
When I actually got on a job site and started doing the work again, oh man, I was hooked.
We have a lot of folk who want to do good throughout the community, right? And they don't always know how to plug in, especially leaders, because it can be difficult. You do your regular job that, if you're in a leadership position, is looking more like 50, 60 hours a week than 40.
That's why I said they pay me for 20.
Oh, and we know there's no part-time CEO. There's no such thing, right? So how can folks get involved, right? You've had your hands in a lot of nonprofits. So if there are people who are looking to do something, where should they start?
Okay, and this follows up on your question about what's the big trajectory.
Yeah.
We need young people, professionals who want to serve. They may not be called to be a CEO of a nonprofit, but you can be on the board of a nonprofit. And this goes back to what you're saying about the board training.
Yeah.
Every nonprofit in this community needs board members. Because if you look at the boards, they're old.
They are.
I talk about one of the things is that how important term limits are. Well, some of the boards are like, well, we can't have term limits because then we wouldn't have anybody.
Indeed.
Habitat got down to the point it only had 2 board members.
Wow.
When I was coming up, the expectation was you joined a board.
Yeah.
Me
too.
I was 3 years into my career when I joined a board. It was a county council. And then as things went on, I joined other boards, and I met people that are kind of our age.
Yeah.
We were serving on boards. There aren't younger people serving on boards. And that's, whether you're in banking, architecture, sell copy machines, whatever it is you do, you've got skills that a nonprofit needs, because most people don't ever get trained on how to be a good board member.
Just like people don't get trained on how to be leaders, right? You just get promoted and you show up and
Now I'm in charge. Who am I going to talk to? Hopefully your board.
we have a little thing that we like to do,
Uh-oh.
because we like to eat.
Oh.
But Bob and I, even though, he's getting all skinny, we
I was
still
going
like
to say,
okay?
where are we going?
So, what's your spot, Steve? Like, where's your go-to? I got a hankering for something. What's your go-to spot?
Go-to spot to eat. It's funny, when I think of my go-to spot, I always think of Malarkeys.
No.
No. Yeah. This area is growing its food culture.
Yes,
It's growing.
absolutely.
Coming from New Jersey, I had my pick of anything, and it was all phenomenal. When I moved here, I missed the good food. That's now starting to change. You know, Manassas has picked up some really good restaurants, some of the new ones in there.
Yeah.
The Bone is really good.
Yes.
I got to give a plug to them. I love their brisket.
Steve-
That is good eating.
Thank you. Okay. I see that in our future. And we really thank you for joining us today, Steve. This has been fantastic. Thank you to everybody who tuned in, who's listening on the pod or watching us on YouTube. We're so happy that you joined us for the other Prince William podcast. So make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. Let your friends know that we're out here talking about do-gooders all across the greater Prince William area. So stay connected, and until next time, you all take care of yourselves and each other, because that's what we're supposed to do. Thanks for joining us.